A historic strike begins as auto workers in Detroit's three big car companies fail to come to an agreement. And NASA releases its findings after a year-long study into UFOs. The morning rundown starts now. This is Straight Arrow News, bringing you unbiased, straight facts. Today is Friday, September 15th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker.
Midnight on the evening of September 14th is a deadline. UAW family, that deadline is nearly here. Tonight, for the first time in our history, we will strike all three of the big three at once.
Those were the words from United Auto Workers Union President Shawn Fain on Thursday. The UAW, for the first time ever, has launched a strike against Detroit's big three automakers, General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, at the same time. Fain said the union, which represents nearly 150,000 members, would strike only at targeted locations of each company. About 12,700 workers will be on strike at these plants. The UAW is demanding 40% hourly pay increases, a shift back to traditional pensions, as well as a 32-hour work week at 40-hour pay. If this UAW strike lasts 10 days, economists estimate that could cost the U.S. economy $5.6 billion. Our business correspondent Simone Del Rosario took a look at some of the costliest strikes in U.S. history in this week's 5 for Friday, now available on SAN.com. Hunter Biden was indicted on 3 federal gun charges on Thursday. The counts are related to falsifying records and possessing a gun while addicted to drugs. It has been a busy week for the Biden family. Hunter's indictment follows an impeachment inquiry launched by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy into President Joe Biden's involvement in his son's business affairs. Just days before both Hunter's indictment and the impeachment inquiry, the Associated Press took a poll asking Americans how involved they believe President Biden is in his son's business dealings. The AP has now released those results. 1 in 3 Americans are highly concerned about whether President Biden may have committed wrongdoing related to his son Hunter's business dealings. Roughly half of Americans say they have little or no confidence that the Justice Department is handling its investigation into Hunter in a fair and nonpartisan way. The political divide over the issue is evident. 66% of Republicans are very concerned the president committed wrongdoing, while only 7% of Democrats think the president has done something wrong. Independents are in the middle of those two, 1/3 concerned over the Biden's handling of his son's business dealings. Looking ahead to next week, President Biden will be meeting with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in the U.S. Congress will also be hearing from Zelenskyy on Capitol Hill, according to the Associated Press. Zelenskyy will likely be making his country's case for the $13 billion in additional Ukraine military funding the Biden administration is asking Congress to authorize. Both Biden and Zelenskyy will be in New York next week for the UN General Assembly. According to sources who spoke with CBS News, the meeting on Capitol Hill is likely to happen next Thursday. Another major resort company, Caesars Entertainment, was the target in a cyber attack days before it was reported MGM Resorts had its systems shut down due to a cybersecurity threat. Bloomberg News reports Caesars paid millions to the ransomware group in order to get its data back. Signature Vegas hotels from the Bellagio to MGM Grand were impacted on Sunday. Casino slot machines and ATMs were shut down. And as of Friday morning, online reservations are still unavailable on MGM's website. Law enforcement is working with the casinos in their investigation. A team of scientists and researchers brought together by NASA to investigate unidentified aerial phenomena cannot explain multiple UFO sightings, according to its latest report released on Thursday. NASA's administrator Bill Nelson spoke on their findings, saying he believes there is other life in a universe as vast as ours, but the agency is still looking for hard proof.
We are looking for signs of life, past and present. And it's in our DNA to explore and to ask why things are the way they are.
NASA cited credible witness sightings of UFOs, oftentimes coming from military pilots. The objects captured can neither be identified as human-made or natural phenomena. NASA says this is the first time they have taken concrete action to seriously look into UFOs and will use new scientific techniques and satellites to continue their research on the unexplained. Finally this morning, Johnson & Johnson is switching out its signature logo after more than 130 years. The famous script logo, based on the signature of co-founder James Wood Johnson, has been used since 1887. It is now being replaced by a more modern font as the company switches its focus to pharmaceuticals and medical devices. Its consumer products, including Band-Aids, Tylenol, Listerine, and baby shampoo, now fall under a new company spun off from J&J called Kenvue. A Kenvue spokesperson says for now that original Johnson & Johnson script logo will remain on their products' packaging, but will eventually be phased out as well. Despite splitting from its consumer business, Johnson & Johnson expects its full year 2023 sales to reach as much as $84 billion. These are your top stories for this Friday. Thank you for joining us on the Morning Rundown. We're on a mission to bring back trustworthy journalism by serving only you, not an agenda. Be sure to check out more of our work at san.com and on the Straight Arrow News app. We'll see you back here on Monday. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great weekend.